Hey, welcome to another edition of iFanboy Mini. My name is Ron Richards, and shocking episodes today, Age of the Century #1. You heard me talk about it on the Shipping Mini a couple of days ago. I've been waiting for this book to check out, and it finally came out, so I finally got my hands on it, so I want to come here and talk to you about it. For those of you who don't know, the Sentry is a character in Marvel Comics that has come under a little bit of fire over the past couple of years. He was created back in the early 2000s by Paul Jenkins as this big kind of marketing stunt to be like, oh, it's this lost character that Stan Lee created that we haven't used, but it was created totally fresh and new. And he was supposed to be like a Superman character with the power of 1,000 suns, and he had a yellow costume and a blue cape. And they did this whole kind of marketing stunt, and then it kind of went away. And then Bendis brought him back recently in the New Avengers run and made him a part of New Avengers. And the whole idea is that he's got this great power, and he's immensely flawed. He's got agoraphobia. He's got all these mental problems, schizophrenic, all this kind of thing. So he's got this great power, yet he just can't get his mind right to use it. Paul Jenkins and John Romita Jr. did a 12-issue series, I believe, that was supposed to explore the Sentry and his nemesis, the Void, and it was all right. But the Sentry has really become a joke. He's not a good character. They want him to be this kind of, this character that will initiate a lot of good stories and a lot of drama, but it keeps failing. Every time, even Bendis, one of the greatest writers in comics, can't seem to make this character any good. I mean, as evidenced by recently in New Avengers during Secret Invasion, all the Sentry has done is flown into space screaming, no! It's not good. He was a joke in World War Hulk, and he's a joke in Secret Invasion. And so now, with Age of the Century #1, it looks like they're making an attempt to give some legitimacy to the character. Age of the Century #1's got 2 short stories. First one written by Jeff Parker and drawn by Nick Dragotta, and the second one written by Paul Tobin and drawn by Ramon Rosanas. That's a tough name to read. And they're kind of throwback Silver Age kind of stories. The first one being the secret origin of the Sentry, the second one being the Sentry versus the Mad Thinker. They're all right. I mean, I like Jeff Parker. I was kind of rooting for him to kind of save the Sentry, but it really makes you wonder whether or not we want this kind of throwback Silver Age story. It's trying to create a history of a character that doesn't exist. I mean, we've seen Silver Age stories of the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. Those exist in that time period, but the Sentry was invented, within this decade, and they're trying to rewrite history to kind of shoehorn him into the Marvel Universe. I've been a staunch kind of critic of the Sentry. I think that the character is flawed. I don't think they're doing anything good with it, and I really think that, if they can undo Spider-Man's marriage, they can get rid of this character very easily. They can do a miniseries where they kill him off. It's not that hard. It's just not working. I was hoping Age of the Century would turn it around, but at the end of the day, it was just kind of a cute, cutesy Silver Age story. Nick Dragotta's art on the origin story that Jeff Parker wrote was great. It was had a very kind of Mike Allred, almost kind of pop art kind of feel to it. I wasn't a big fan of Paul Tobin and Ramon Rosanas' story, but then again, I'm not a fan of the character, and I don't know anyone who is a fan of the character other than people at Marvel, and that's something that something they should pay attention to. So check out Age of the Century #1. You can make your own decision. If you want to go to ifanboy.com/comics, you can see what other people thought of it. I'm sure there are going to be a bunch of reviews of it. And head over to revision3.com/ifanboy. Check out all of our previous videos. Thanks.